Welcome back to another Sorare video, and in today's video I'll talk about the best tips and strategies when playing Sorare 2.0. The game isn't out yet, there is still just normal Sorare Rivals, but I think now is the best time to prepare, to find out your winning strategies and also test out the game if you have never heard about it before. So if you are new to Sorare, remember to sign up using an affiliate link. If you want to use mine in the description, that is much appreciated. You will get $50 after buying 5 cards. And also I'm currently hosting a Sorare Rivals tournament with a prize pool of up to 1,000 euros. So if you are new to Sorare, I think this is the best time to get started. And also if you haven't played too much Sorare Rivals, but you are a routine Sorare Pro Manager, you should definitely check that tournament out. And also, if you're just a normal Sorare Manager, check the tournament out. It will start today, Tuesday. I think it's 9 PM CET. The game will kick off then, so remember to check that out. I've made a video on it and I also published it on Twitter. Just go on Twitter, pin tweet, or just watch the tournament announcement video, which I will be linking in the description. But now we can jump straight into today's video, and it's going to be 5 different tips, and we'll start off with play from the teams you know, which is a tip that I think is so important. Because when I started playing Sorare Rivals, I played every single match I could. And it was everything from international break, Switzerland versus Romania, to features like in the Brazilian league, Fortaleza versus Flamengo. Like teams I've never heard about before. And it didn't go too well. I lost so many arena matches. And arena matches is where you play and where you could win boxes, where you also could win rewards. This will be more competitive now in the Sorare Rivals 2.0, and there will be a division system, and which you do well in your division, you will win reward boxes, which will give you once-in-a-lifetime experiences, jerseys, and also different things like cards and money, which I think is very, very great additions to Sorare Rivals 2.0. We'll see how much in depth they will go soon about that topic, but I think now it will be even more competitive, and your losses will be way, way more important now compared to what it is now, because if you lose an arena match, yeah, you go down in the overall leaderboard, and you lose that 3 consecutive win streaks to get the reward box. But that will be 10 times as important, because if you lose in a division match or arena match now, after or when the Sorare Rivals 2.0 kicks off, you will go down the leaderboard, and the chance of you getting something good or actually getting a reward box will be way lower. So play the teams you know, and also, for example, if you're a Newcastle fan, if you're a Manchester United fan, you will know who is going to take the set pieces. You will know who is the most likeliness of actually getting a lot of tackles against which opposition. So for example, Casemiro will in many cases get more tackles against good oppositions compared to bad oppositions and things like that. You will know that if you know your team. And also, moving on to the second tip, is that going to be pick tactic wisely. And that is when you have built your team, you will come onto a screen which you will choose your tactics. And you could actually win up to 40 points by picking the right tactic. And I think that is so overlooked. And for example, if you're up against another guy that have a similar team, especially when there is, for example, Manchester City against Wolves. Manchester City is a big favorite. In many cases, the guy will have a full Manchester United team, and so will you in 99% of the cases. Then the tactic could be the decider of who is actually going to go away with the reward box or the arena win. So for example, if you have Rodri, Ederson, Akanji, Haaland, and also Alvarez, if they both play, you should probably switch out Alvarez for example, Ruben Diaz or Kevin De Bruyne, because the chance of them getting more passes is higher. And then you could, for example, choose tiki-taka and get those 40 points. So unless Alvarez outscores De Bruyne or Ruben Diaz by 20 points, you will most likely earn by switching them out and picking a tiki-taka. That is just a very, very brief example of a strategy you could personally go for. That is something I really, really like doing. Picking a team that is the best for that strategy or that what is called tactic I want to go for, and that is something I have found a lot of joy in, and it's a different feeling when you win because you have chosen the right tactic, and something I would definitely recommend you to look more into, because I think that is very, very overlooked. And also choose favorable fixtures. And when it comes to choosing favorable fixtures, I mean fixtures like Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. When Manchester United haven't had a playing team that could compete in the championship, like the team was horrendous. Although many would say that Manchester United are favourites because they are in general a better team. They have always been a better team than Crystal Palace. But now, because of all the injuries and everything, and also because the players aren't playing for Ten Hag by the looks of it, because that was just horrendous, and that could you also use to your favour, because you know Manchester United. So although you, like if you're a Manchester United fan, don't build an opposition team, but you get what I mean. If you know a lot about football and a lot about the Premier League, you could then build a full Crystal Palace team and win against a lot of the other managers that may have gone for a full Manchester United team, believing that they were the best or was going to be the best team. But if you saw the lineup, you would just know that Crystal Palace were going to smash Manchester United. And so that is also something to do. One favourable fixtures could be, for example, the actual fixture was very favourable. For example, the odds. For example, Manchester City against Wolves. And as I mentioned, Manchester United against Crystal Palace, where you know Manchester United are in such a bad form and have such a bad chemistry in the team because of a lot of injuries and etc. So there are different ways to go there, and I really like the second one, going for games like Crystal Palace, like Manchester United, and also Liverpool versus West Ham, where West Ham surprised Liverpool, where I personally went for a full West Ham collection or a stack. And also play using your cards, and that is, if you are brand new to Sorare, you don't need to worry too much about this. If you want to spend money on the game, that is completely fine, and you will get $50 after buying 5 cards. But this tip is mainly for you guys that are a little bit more routined, that have a lot, not routine, but have cards on Sorare, simple as that. And that is me, for example. If you have a team or a collection from one team, let's say Burnley, let's say Manchester United, let's say Newcastle, let's say Stuttgart, you should play those games, and especially if there is a favorable fixture, play a 5-side team of your collection. You will get a bonus, and then play them all together in that fixture, especially if it's a favorable fixture. And then you just need to hope that you are up against a player that doesn't have a better 5-side team than you of those players. And that is very strong if there is, for example, Stuttgart versus Heidenheim or against Darmstadt, very bad teams in Bundesliga, and you have a full Stuttgart team with a lot of collection bonus on them, because not collection bonus, but if you have a full Stuttgart collection and play them in that Rivals game, the chance of you actually winning is very, very high. Because you will most likely come up against other managers that have a full Stuttgart collection. And if you already have a Stuttgart collection in cards, you will most likely either draw the match or win the match, if that makes sense. Because you will come up against managers that may have 2 or 3 Stuttgart cards that they use, that they have in their gallery, and then built the rest of the team in common cards. So you will have an edge over them, and the chance of you actually winning those type of fixtures is very, very high. And in the Rivals game, that could be very, very important. And in some cases, I could actually argue that it could be worth actually picking, if you're like one match between coming first and second, it could be worth it actually to buy a cheap collection for a team against another team that you think will outperform against another player that may have 2 or 3 or 4 cards from the opposition team or the same team that you are going to collect on, if that makes sense. So that is also another strategy that I think is very, very overpowered. Play your cards, and also using favorable fixtures, because I think that is even stronger if you combine those 2 tips. And the last one is going to be the most important one for me. Focus on quality over quantity. Because when I started playing, I just played every single match and it didn't work out. Because there is a lot of luck involved in Sorare Rivals if you play as many games as possible. If you just focus on the games or the teams you know, it's going to be 10 times as easy. Because you know every edge when it comes to players that take set pieces, players that gets a lot of tackles against some oppositions, and etc. that is going to be a key to actually you winning over an opposition. And also the possession stats. Which teams does this team gets a lot of possession stats from? So I may choose tiki-taka against this opposition, and against that opposition I choose duels one. Against this opposition I take one contest. You will know this if you follow the team, and if you do a lot of research. And that is also an undermined tip: do a lot of research. But I haven't made it into this list because that is also very, very self-explanatory. The chance of you doing well is higher when you have done a lot of research on the match fixture in specific. But that, I mean, quality over quantity is so important, and I think this will be something that is very important. When you look at the match feed, which matches will be today, you try to find the matches that you think you have an edge in. Do I actually have more knowledge than another opponent picking this one? You need to ask yourself that, and if your answer is yes, you should definitely play in that fixture. But if you think, no, I don't know too much, like I don't know this guy, I don't know this guy, I don't know this guy, I don't know the captain of that team, like how are you going to outperform another manager that knows the team in and out? So yeah, that will be the last tip, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm so excited for Sorare Rivals 2.0, and I hope they will do something with it when it comes to the Euros. I think that is on the mind of the CEO. He has teased a little bit on Twitter by the looks of it, so I'm very excited for that, and I'll of course catch you in the next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.